In this video, we have the shocking second installment to the stolen Ahsoka Tano comic book saga, which has proven to be quite interesting indeed. If you haven't seen the previous video, let me give you a 1-minute little recap, and then I'll share with you this new developments in the story. So I sold a comic book off my site for Star Wars Clone Wars #1, first appearance of Ahsoka Tano 9.8, about a $750 book at the time. It's gone up in price a little bit since then, and it went missing in the mail. The tracking just stopped updating, and so I refunded the customer a full refund. You never have to worry about buying from Bryce Comics. No matter what happens, you will always be made whole. And then I went and filed a claim with my insurance company, which actually had a $500 deductible, so they paid me $247, and I took a $500 loss, which stings when something just goes missing in the mail. And then it popped up on eBay, and the eBay seller obviously had no idea about selling comics. They have no sales history, and they listed it for about twice as much as what it was worth. And so I messaged the eBay seller and said, hey, this is my comic book. It was stolen out of the U.S. Postal Service. A police report has been filed. I was just wondering if you would be willing to do the right thing. And 3 days went by, and they did not do the right thing. They didn't even respond to the message. So that gets you caught up if you missed the last video. And before we hop into the new developments, check out brycecomics.com for incredible deals on some of the hottest comics in the hobby. I have a ton of new stuff coming in the first couple weeks of January. I'm taking a little break from listing and shipping around New Year's, but then we're going to hit the ground running for 2026, hopefully shaping up to be one of the best years in comic book collecting ever. So make sure you're signed up to the newsletter at brycecomics.com, where you'll get notified of new drops, and we have a monthly giveaway over there if you just for staying subscribed to the newsletter. We also do a monthly giveaway here on the YouTube channel, so subscribe, comment, and like, and you're entered to win some free slab. So when he didn't do the right thing, I decided to make a YouTube video about it and see what you guys would do in that situation. And after I made that video, his inbox blew up with messages from you guys, from the community. Some people were lying and saying that it was their book and trying to get him to send the book to them. Other people were threatening cases with the FBI because mail theft is a federal crime and investigated by the FBI. And some people were trying to get him, pretending to be me and just trying to do detective work on my behalf. Anyways, his inbox completely flooded. And thank you guys so much for the tremendous, response to that video, because it worked. It lit a fire under his butt, and he messaged me and said, whoa, I'm getting all these messages claiming, FBI cases. I don't want any trouble. How do I know it's your book? Because there's a bunch of different people claiming it's their book. And I said, I have plenty of information and proof. I can provide you any evidence you need, and told him all the proof that I had. And he said, hey, can you call me? And I said, well, you can't. And if you didn't know, you can't exchange contact information on eBay. It's against their policy, because they don't want people to facilitate deals outside of eBay. Then eBay doesn't get their cut, and they're just using the eBay platform to connect with buyers and sellers. So you can't just type in your phone number. It would just get blocked. But you can write down your phone number on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and send the picture. Now, I don't recommend doing this because it can still get flagged and you could get kicked off of eBay. But I decided to do it in this case because I really wanted to hear his story, and I just wanted to talk to him about it on the phone. And also, I wasn't actually facilitating a sale outside of eBay. This was just, completely different than violating their policy for that reason. So sure enough, he calls me, and I pull out my camera and I record the conversation. And we talked for about 5 or 6 minutes on the phone, actually. And I really wanted to just play the tape for you guys, but I thought, you know what, that could put me at some kind of risk. I don't want to put something out there that puts me in any kind of bad situation, but I absolutely can paraphrase and tell you exactly what happens. And also stay tuned. I have some AI reenactments of the story of what happened to this video that I'll play later in the video. So he said that, he got all these messages. He didn't want any trouble. That was kind of like the overall thing was like, whoa, let's pump the brakes here. Don't call the FBI. And he had a story about how he came into possession of the comics. He said he was driving down the road with his friend on a freeway on-ramp in Oakland, California. And he said that he just looked over. There was a bunch of trash on the side of the road. And then there was this comic book just glistening in the sun. And he said, pull over, there's something glistening over there. And so he hops out of the car and he goes, oh my God, it's a limited edition Star Wars comic book. And he said, it's a blessing. I think it's a blessing from God. And so they looked it up on eBay and he said, yeah, you know, it's worth a bunch of money. And they said, let's just throw it up on eBay. And so he listed it. And that explains why, you know, he listed it for twice as much as it was worth. They just have no idea. You know, they have no idea what a graded comic book was, anything. And so he said, you know, he had no idea that it was stolen. He doesn't want any trouble, and he would happily send it back to me. And so he agreed that he would send the comic back. He gave me his email address. I sent him a label, and he said he shipped the book. And he indeed did ship a package, and I filmed opening it because I was scared that it was a bomb or something. And so I'll play the clip of me opening the package. So here we go, guys. The good old bubble mailer, classic rookie move. But I want to open it outside in case it's a bomb or something. I got my handy dandy Montana legal Benchmade switchblade. Make sure you do that the right way. These things are awesome, by the way. I'm gonna open it over here in case it's a glitter bomb or something. Oh God, look at that, like butter. Dude, there it is. Holy crap. There it is, guys. That's it. He sent it back.
Dude, look at that. There's something shiny in that trash pile.
We pulled over on the Oakland Freeway on-ramp, and Jake was right. There was a pristine comic book just sitting there.
This has got to be worth something. Look at this condition. It's like it was meant for us to find.
I posted it on eBay that night. I thought we'd hit the jackpot.
I kept saying it was a blessing from God. Finally, something good was happening to us.
Then this YouTuber messaged us, said it was his comic, stolen from the mail. I thought he was trying to scam us.
When we didn't respond, he made a whole video about it. Suddenly, our inbox was flooded with angry messages.
The comic book community doesn't mess around. We learned that the hard way.
So that's his story. Stay tuned for another AI reenactment of a different plausible story. And so there you have it, guys. Here it is. I am in utter disbelief that I actually got the comic book back. And one thing that's interesting is there's the crack on the side here, and you know, he mentioned that it was in a graded case, in a sealed case, and I think what he did is I think he tried to open it just not knowing what a graded comic book was. Like he wanted to like just read the comic or something, and when he tried to do that, it put a little hairline crack there, and then he stopped doing that and was like, whoa, apparently you're not supposed to open these. So that would explain the crack there. And he sent it in just a bubble mailer, and surprisingly, it's in pretty good shape. The case, I mean, there's a crack on the back and a crack on the side. So I will get it reholdered, but the book is totally fine. It could have been a disaster shipping it like that, but the book itself is totally fine. Then we continue the conversation on the phone, and he gives me a little bit more information. And he said, you know, because I said, I've seen strange things like this happen. I've had packages fall off of a truck before in the past. In fact, I did a whole video on that years and years and years ago. A CGC submission returning from CGC fell off the back of a FedEx truck on the freeway in my hometown, and somebody pulled over, picked it up, and they actually delivered the package to me. So it does happen, but the story doesn't make sense that it was just glistening in the sun. Like, I double box all of my shipments. I double box everything. So there's absolutely no possible way that it fell out of the truck, came out of the boxes, and was just laying there on the side of the road. And so then he gave me some more information. He said, yeah, here's what I think happened. This is what he said he thinks happens. He said, I used to work for UPS. All right. That was a big red flag right there. It's like, oh, you used to work for UPS? And he said, yeah. And sometimes they don't lock the back of the trucks, and sometimes packages fall off the back of the truck, which is true, but it's incredibly, incredibly rare. And if it did fall off the back of the truck, it would have been a full package with the label on it. So he said it happened across the street from a homeless encampment, and that is kind of like a known place as like a hub for USPS delivery trucks. So it's possible that it did fall off the back of the truck and somebody opened it and got cold feet at the homeless encampment and was like, oh, I don't want stolen property, and threw it on the side of the road. It's also possible that he himself stole it off the truck. It's also possible that he was the delivery driver. It's also possible that he knows the delivery driver, and, there's any number of possible things. But one thing that for sure did not happen is it did not fall out of the back of the truck, came out of the boxes without any documentation or anything. So somebody somewhere along the line was guilty of nefarious means. It had to have been opened out of the box. But we don't know if it was actually him or what his involvement was. And so I'm glad that he didn't ask me for a reward. He didn't ask for anything. He just did the right thing, but I think what happened was he's somehow nefariously involved, got cold feet and got spooked with the whole FBI thing, thanks to you guys. And that's why he did the right thing. And that's also why he didn't ask for a reward. He seemed like the type of person that if he was just doing the right thing, if he was telling the truth, that, he would ask for a reward for it, but he didn't, which it all leads me to believe that he's not telling the truth and that he was involved to some degree. Principles and morals are really important to me. The principle of doing the right thing is more important than the whole cost of the book, so I wouldn't have felt comfortable giving him a reward because I'm not sure that he wasn't involved at some step of the way. And if he is telling the truth and he really did just do the right thing for the sake of doing the right thing, then his blessing really will come from God, and it will be tenfold the cost of this book or any kind of reward I could have given him. I think that just living your life like that, doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do and not asking for rewards or anything like that, I think that multiplies blessings for you. I think people withhold blessings for themselves because they're always me, I got to figure out how to get $50 here or $100 here. I think if that's the way you live your life, you withhold blessings. But if you live your life to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, you're going to get promoted in your job, you're going to have opportunities come your way, and you're just going to be super, super blessed. And so at the recommendation of many of you, I have already opened a case with the U.S. Postal Inspector. So we'll see. I haven't heard from them yet. I assume the holidays are probably going to slow that down, but we'll see if they want to investigate or whatever. And so now for the book, what happens next with the book? Because I filed an insurance claim. So I contacted the insurance company and told them the story and what happened. And they said that all you owe us is the $247 that we paid you. So if you can sell the book, they said, you go ahead and sell the book and you just owe us the $247, which is perfect. So then I reached out to CGC because it had been reported stolen and the cert number was reported as stolen. And I told CGC the story. And since I was the one that reported it stolen and I have the police report and all the proof and the evidence and show them that I have the book now, they cleared the cert number. So it doesn't even need to be regraded. It just needs to be reholdered. And so at some point, and then I reached out to the customer who originally bought it and said, hey, I got the book back, told him the story and said, you originally bought it for $750. There's been a couple sales that are higher than that. I think it's worth about $825 now. But if you still want the book, I'll sell it to you for the original price. And he said that he actually already got himself a different copy. So this copy will be available on the site once it gets reholder from CGC, and it'll be kind of a cool copy that it went through all of this craziness. Now I have a little AI clip of what I think actually happened that I'll insert here.
I'm walking past a mail truck in Oakland when I notice the back door is wide open. Inside, stacks of packages. Curiosity taps me on the shoulder. Bad decisions shove me forward. I grab one. Back home, I slice it open and freeze. It's a rare, graded Star Wars comic, slabbed, pristine. My brain does that cartoon cash register thing. I snap photos, I list it on eBay, I set the price high, I lean back like I've just retired early. Ping. Hey, that's mine. It was stolen. Sure, buddy, internet's full of stories, I ignore it. Then the inbox starts bubbling. Ping, 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 ping. Comic forums, YouTube collectors, screenshots, serial numbers, proof pics. My DMs look like a slot machine. People are naming shops, dates, exact grading notes. A creator with a big channel posts, whoever listed this, return it. My notifications turn into Niagara Falls. Someone says, FBI gets involved in mail theft. Another drops a case number and a link about postal inspectors. Now I'm not hearing pings, I'm hearing sirens in my head. Suddenly the comic doesn't look like a jackpot, it looks like evidence. My hands feel sweaty just holding it. I delete the listing. I message the person with proof. I'm returning it. We line up verification, matching cert numbers. We line up verification, photos. We line up verification, ID. I ship it back with tracking, signature required, and every receipt saved like it's my lifeline. When the delivery confirmation hits, I feel my lungs work again. Look, I told myself it was a harmless score. It wasn't. It belonged to someone who cared, and there are laws, big ones. The internet isn't just noise, sometimes it's accountability with a megaphone. If your gut whispers, "This is trouble," it's probably screaming. Do the right thing before the pressure cooker heats up. Returning that comic didn't make me rich, but it kept me free.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was hilarious. My favorite part was the guy with the cape does a little flip. I mean, like, what was that? AI has a long way to go. So what do you guys think happened? We don't know what happened here, and I feel like I've done everything in my power to be completely transparent and honest at every single step of the churn and just trying to just do the right thing. And I think I've accomplished that pretty well, but I am curious to know what you guys think. Do you think the first AI video is exactly what happened? It is just a blessing from God and that he's telling the truth? Or do you think that there was nefarious intent and nefarious means here? So leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of the video. Happy New Year. I'm not sure when this video is going to post, but I sure do appreciate you guys and look forward to everything coming in 2026. Stay blessed, y'all. Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Love ya. Bye.